What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 6 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Mother Ostankya Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we have beaten back the tide of chaos that was crossing the frozen sea to hit the Goramadny Mountains and have now arrived on their shores instead, with Borisources, Borden Rybkin, Mother Ostankya herself, and Yevgeny Dmitriev, who will be leader of our Rakshina army as soon as we get it up and running. Archie and Arbal and some guy stand against us. Oh, Berserkers. Decent little stack. And we'll be looking to knock them out of this episode and continue advancing northward. Borisources has to reclaim the territory that he sort of lost, I guess. Not that it's territory we were super keen on, but at the end of the day, the Chaotic Wasteland is a place where we can build all of our devotion structures to get piles and piles of patriarchs and devotion going. So that's not too bad of an idea either way. Now, between the episodes, I did take a look at the recruiter lord that we had previously, which was at level 2 or 3 Akshina, and decided to delete him and replace him with this guy, who I've renamed Recruiter Zubov, and who's currently building spiders and may as well continue building spiders. And like, how many spiders do we have? Let's say 8. And yeah, we're going to start with the spider hatchlings, and those that survive to evolve into giant spiders will become giant spiders. Once again, I am enjoying the dynamic, and once he's done with those, we'll build some feral ice bears for Boris, and regular feral bears. I might put those somewhere else as well, maybe into the melee army with Ulrika. That might be a thing to do. That way, I like to have the sort of beasts in every army now, since this is a Stanka's run. Anyway, we'll figure that out. What else do we have to do this particular turn? I do remember that last episode, it's been a day, guys, but yes, I do remember that Confederation is really close with the Ice Court. I'm hoping that next turn we might be able to confederate them. Draika or Deluric is moving kind of concerningly here, but I suppose if we make enough spiders, we should be able to defend these places with the garrisons therein. At least I hope so. We'll figure that out as we go. Also, if we can get 4.5k money, I'd really like to build that Ataman's estate, because I'm really curious to see what that trait might be for Atamans. Otherwise, I believe we're good. We are trying to... Why did I decide to ambush you? You know what? Okay, I don't remember what my reasoning was for this last episode, but I think we're instead... Can you still move? You can. You'll suffer attrition, but you can. You know what? I don't like this. We're going to send you here to the Pillar of Skulls instead. The thing is, if ambush fails, and knowing my luck, there's a decent likelihood of it failing. What will happen is then Archaon will be too afraid to attack Mother Ostankya, and will instead go for the Pillar of Skulls, which we have invested, like 5 to 6k into, and I'd prefer not to lose that. So let's just go here, and we'll see. He might go down this way, he might back off, but either way, that's probably safer than attempting an ambush. We'll suffer a little bit of attrition. In fact, actually, we won't, because we have enough anti-attrition things to keep us going. And I believe now that's it in terms of what we gotta do this turn. Yes, who was Kubash Mozarov? Okay, can I rename you? Where's the name thing? View records, rename, okay. Ataman Mozarov. There we go. I keep confusing as to who's the frickin' Ataman and who's not. They really should, like, I know that they have this little icon beside them, but it's still, I look by names, okay? We'll take you and we'll do the same thing here. Rename Ataman Volkov. There we go. That's a little bit off. Still waiting for that rank 12, but getting there. Got to get more Ottomans as well. Outpost available, that's with the Ice Court, who we hopefully won't need it with, because they will be hopefully confederated. Otherwise, we'll end the turn. I don't remember if we had any points to assign. Our ball will attack both of these armies? Really? I wasn't expecting that. Pleasantly surprised. Of course, the Chaos Warriors are going to outkill the Kislevite Warriors, but we do have the Streltsy available to us, so while the enemy should be concerned. Standard of Discipline, let's put it on you. We'll have the Razor Standard and the Boydanov's Brawlers, because, let's face it, every single time we've put them on field, while they have gotten a fair few shots out in range, they've also been in melee way too much. But that's the nature of being a hybrid unit. Should be pretty fun. Big ol' fight, and... Oh. I forgot. Did we get the defeat trait of Arbol on Boris? I think we didn't, meaning if we defeat him here, maybe we can keep him alive. Let's see if we can manage to do that. Go.
Such ugly mongrel dogs they send against us! We could kill them in our sleep!
Alrighty, here we go. Just listening to the army march forward, and I do like this this type of map. Though this map is an interesting one in terms of appearance, it is also kind of an odd one in terms of reinforcements. As in, if we take a look at it, can I make this bigger? Yes, I can. So basically, reinforcements can't appear anywhere here because this is cliffside. This is all cliffside. This is all cliffside. Basically, reinforcements can only appear apparently here, here, and I didn't try whether they could appear up here, but I'm willing to bet that they can because it just looks like they can. They probably don't want to walk too close to the lava and all that. But anyway, so this means that our reinforcements will be arriving over on this side, and I should probably make this smaller again. Oh no. How did I? Okay, there we go. Oh, small panic moment. Anyway. Wait, was it this size before? I don't know. That doesn't matter. Anyway, and Arbol, what are you doing, sir? Bad idea. You are going to draw close to the Streltsy. And I love listening to them fire. We probably shouldn't be firing off the Boydanov's brawlers, though, because they'll kill off a lot more of our Kislevite warriors if we let them. Anyway, our reinforcements are arriving over on the left flank, so we're going to wait for the enemy. And it is quite interesting that the enemy took so long to move towards us, because they attacked us here. But it seemed like they decided to wait until their own reinforcements arrived before actually committing to the attack, which is kind of interesting. Speaking of our own reinforcements, it does look like the enemy heads a bunch of units directly towards us, even as Boris's army makes its way onto the field. So, well, he's going to have to work through this a little bit. Not to worry, though. This is a much more elite army than, especially in melee, than our Streltsy army over there. And we should be able to hold just fine, get a little bit of that, I believe, glacial blast work from our Frost Maiden there, knocking the enemies back as our Daj's Hearthblades head on in and begin to fight the enemy. Corngores, lightning crackling in the distance, and I guess we have the support of Tor, as the Oath Brothers of Tor, our regiment of renowned Warbear riders, are on this field. Here come Forsaken and Blood Beasts in pretty decent numbers. I mean, we'll have to be careful about those. I was quite impressed with the Blood Beasts and really enjoyed using them when I was playing Skull Taker. I'd like to try them in SFO eventually. It should be pretty fun. And it does look like the enemy is looping around us as well, so we're getting attacked on every side, at least with the non-Boris Ursus army. The enemy chariots, however, get absolutely obliterated by Boydanov's brawlers in just a couple of volleys, as they're big old targets and hard to miss. There we go. And good job to the Streltsy. Gonna back off some of the Kislevite warriors. They'll take a few shots from the brawlers, but that's alright. That's what they're there for. That's part of leveling up to become Cossars or whatever. A nice Ice Blast or Hailstorm will come down on the biggest blob of enemies we can find. Corngores and Chaos Warriors or Marauders getting pretty badly damaged there. And I noticed that Boris is still in the fight here, though I do believe that Arbol has fled or is about to flee. He is down to 10% HP or something along those lines. I really shouldn't have just run into the Streltsy like that. And oh, would you look at that? I see Corngores dropping to the Kislevite warriors. That's kind of impressive. We have no buffs on them in this particular army, do we? 35 and 40? Oh, not too bad. I guess the veterancy is making them hit a little bit harder. Pitchforks versus Halberds apparently give the Pitchforks the win here, but these poor Corngores did get flanked here. They also are going to get hit in the back as our cavalry units have arrived, having peeled away from Boris's army. Nice charge from the Winged Lancers. And there we go, right through that one unit, and oh, stop just short of those Chaos Warriors of Khorne with dual weapons. That's alright, however, as our lines of Kislevite warriors and even a few of the Horse Archers are holding the enemy back. Why are the Horse Archers here? I pushed them into the line, in the main line, so that they could use their mass to block the Blood Beasts off and prevent them from charging our Streltsy, who have been firing from this upper position, this little small hill, quite nicely, and commanding the battlefield by virtue of it. And by the looks of it, Arbal's army is done for. They've given up after that attempt, though it was a pretty fun one and a pretty distributed battlefield here. We had Boris lead his army to destroy about half of Arbal's, and then the other half failed to destroy or breach the line of Kislevite warriors to get at those Streltsy, which just sniped them off the battlefield. Lots and lots of Khornate troops to chase down, but we can do that off screen. Alright, there we go. Very solid fight. Really enjoyed that one. A little bit of weird behavior from the AI in the sense that it did not attack us when I feel like it should have, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Anyway, we have, I think, since we're suffering attrition here, while I'd love to get the 1700, I think we've no real choice but to heal. Otherwise, the spiders will die, everybody will be more heavily damaged, and we do need to keep fighting. There's another stack of Norskins nearby, and we are still in march stance, and we'll suffer attrition, and I see that Daniel's armies are moving down southward as well. There's that leadership and vigor loss reduction trait on board in Rybkin, which I guess will be nice for the Streltsy, but, well, we'll need more than just Streltsy. Now, that looks like the Norskins will forego attacking us here, interestingly enough, and we'll back off this way, not the way I was expecting. And Archie... okay, maybe I was wrong about that. I figured he'd maybe try to attack the Pillar of Skulls, but maybe he actually wasn't in range of it? It was really quite close, looking to me. Okay, well, I screwed up that ambush for nothing. Oh, well, what can you do? A lot of Jet, a Warbear for Yelena Shevchenko, Stepan Rozov has a Warbear as well. Oh, we had a mission to actually defeat Arbal. Go figure. That's nice, a little boon. Now, the important stuff. Oh, you know what? First of all, I think it's time to start making trinkets. The thing is, we will be doing those quest battles soon, and, well, we're gonna need them. What are the more annoying ones to debuff enemies? Definitely the Chain Hex. I think there was one that also damages an individual unit. Yeah, that's this one, right? Fragmenti. Damage per second to the individual unit as long as its hit points are greater than 25%. So we could do that. Melee defense. Ooh, Rampage cause. Oh, but it's only if an enemy is in melee. It's not as helpful. Alright, start with Agony Succession, create this, we have enough to create both. As long as we don't get bonus stuff in there, yeah, fine. Let's start getting decent numbers of these, and then we have green, purple, and yellow. And what else do we have available? So we could make you... Spell Mastery Reduction, Miscast, kind of meh. What about buffs? We have Speed, Devastating Flanker, and Strider, Mass and Charge bonus. I mean, it's better than nothing. We gotta wait a turn anyway, so let's do you, and then... I don't really care for the enables flaming attacks. Oh, it does enables flaming attacks anyway? Wait, which one is this? Oh, purple and yellow. It doesn't do green. Fine, whatever. Just do that one as well. Put it all on cooldown. Alright, we got some. Not a lot, but some. We'll do that every turn for a couple of turns, and then we will have... Oh, wow, the Ice Court is really starting to beat the Orthodoxy by a fairly large amount. On what basis? We have 5 from Atamans and 7 from character traits, and we have... 12 versus 11. Was it a dilemma? It's not buildings. Not that it matters over much, but still a little bit odd. Anyway, Ostankya. Now, what do we have in... Oh, that's actually a nice army, and certainly worthy of a fight by the looks of it, so that's definitely a fight we'll be having. What about you? I mean, technically speaking, what we want to do is we want to send Boris to defeat Arbal. There are decent defenders at Stormvrak map, but not so decent, I think, that he can't handle them himself. I do wonder, however, whether Mr... Yeah, so we can't reach you. I do wonder whether Ostankya would be able to if she were to hunt down Archie. I guess we'll have to figure this out. Alright, let's try to figure this out. We'll start with Ostankya fighting. Oh, wait a moment. What about you? Ooh, Azag is besieging Serena Katrin. Are you ready to confed? Minus... Oh, it decreased. That's not great. That's not great at all. Alright, how about this? We will military alliance with you. Give us your money. Like so. Then, -7. I assume you won't join any wars. No. But, what if we suddenly declare war on... how about the Legion of Asgore? They're pretty far from us. I mean, granted, anti-player bias might mean that they go up through Uzkalak, but... and they are strength rank 13, which makes them a strong faction, which might do this for us. So we'll declare war on you directly, like so. Call your allies to help, yes. That will force the Ice Court into it, and... it'll allow us for confederation, yes. Alright, well, you guys have told me that that this doesn't disappear once we do this, so I'm trusting you on this one, so I guess we're gonna confederate and get Serena Katrin. Let's do it. Do I have to do anything else with you? No. Alright, now let's see what our money looks like after this. -10k. Okay. Not great. But not much we can do about it right now. Province River Urskoy, province for their southern oblast, and we can get new Atamans. Ally loses outpost. We'll figure... Okay, we're gonna... What the heck? What? Game. I don't appreciate this. Serena Katrin was in Karak Ungor, and she's been somehow punted out of there and then all the way to Karak. What the heck was that? Okay, am I crazy or was she there? We confederated her, but this is our territory. She shouldn't have left the place that she was in. Game. Ooh. Crossworms. Those can go to Serena Katrin herself, and the Snow Leopard. Oh, wow, she's got a lot of stuff. Alright, we'll figure this out. I don't want to look at it right now because it's a lot. And this is a lot as well. Back to you, Kent. I could leave Arbal there, but I don't know. Let's fight with Mother Ostankya for now, because I don't want to look at all that. It's confusing. It's too much stuff. Will you run? He will run. Okay, yeah. So I figured he was afraid of Mother Ostankya, and that remains the case. Now, you're able to reach this. If we put Mr. Borden Ribkin in march stance, he is able to reach this. Meaning, what we do, and this will probably still be a tough fight because you're damaged, is we'll send you here to hunt down Ayatolf. And Yevgeny will go after this guy. We'll fight together. Boris can then proceed to Stormvrak Mount. Minor annoyance about all this is that we have a bunch of stuff that we want to trade between these armies, but, well, you gotta do what you gotta do. And we're not going to use our curses or blessings. I assume that if we use auto-resolve, it won't use those from us, because that's obviously not worth fighting. Yeah, a little bit of damage, and didn't say anything about the curses, so I think we're okay. And we'll occupy. Like so. And we got it at tier 2, which means if we wanted to get some horse archers, we could get them in here, although I'm not so sure about that right now. Let's get... this place is actually already generating a fairly decent amount of cash. But I guess we're still going to have to go purge the steps. There's a decent likelihood that enemies are going to be here, and I assume we can't... Oh, we got another Hagwitch available, which is nice, and we'll have to get you on field shortly. In fact, wait, just out of curiosity. What did we get with Ostankya's second one? So you're cunning. Oh, right, the poison thing. I do still like that. If we can find another cunning one, maybe. Or we could just take another tough one. Wait, no, we have strong ones, not tough ones. Hey, there's a cunning poison one. Alright, we'll take a look at those later. Enemy killed in battle, Scroll of Shielding, Warhorse, Province Skull Road secured. This might actually be a good place for an Ataman. Although, let's see, Southern... Oh, wow. Huh. That's an interesting way to do it there, AI. I guess everything being walled up here isn't too bad in case Draika declares war on us shortly, which... I figured she'd like us more because we're no longer technically in a treaty with the Ice Court because they are now ours. Oh, speaking of the Ice Court, there's another big issue. What did the AI do to Tsarina Katrin's points? So she has Leader of Renown, and she has no points in her unique traits. But of course it doesn't. She doesn't. I'm just taking a look. Is there anything that's super critical here? I mean, not really, I guess. She doesn't have any points in her red line. She maxed out Death Frost and Ice Sheet, which is fine. Maybe we could do without the reset and just leave aside the fact that she has a Leader of Renown, just under the assumption that we'll eventually get to Quartermaster if we have enough points remaining. I can't guarantee that we do, but Tsarina Katrin isn't as point hungry by virtue of the fact that she doesn't have a red line. So she's just a Mage Lord instead of being a Hybrid Lord by the looks of it. I guess she does have buffs to her person via this. Alright, it's not horrific. We'll deal with it, and we'll deal with all that after I after I want to take a look at it. Archie, 'tis time, sir.
Spirits bring
and why did he run? Valiant defeat? Why are you running? Coward. Well, I guess we're doing this. I'm a little bit concerned about the Bilious Thunderguff and the various monstrous units, and frankly very concerned about the Hellforged Bellowers. I'm just gonna hope that the spiders can handle it. Aspiring champions, there's frankly a lot of scary stuff in here. And of course Archaon himself. I feel like the game is lying, and this is, or was lying, and this isn't nearly as in our favor as it might otherwise be. Do you have physical resistance? No, we have an entirely magical damaging army. We could do Agony Succession. It doesn't really help us here, does it? Meh. I think we'll save him. There's nothing here that would be critical to this victory. Like, if we get a melee defense and attack reduction on Archie, then that would be the ticket, but I don't think this is. What's your spell resistance, by the way? He has no spell resistance. Ooh, okay, then that is one thing we'll take advantage of. Go.
The cowards amongst you tremble. Yet an old woman stands here, fearless before the foe. Now ask yourselves, do you fear the enemy more, or me?
I love Ostankya. She's great. Anyway, here we go. Should be a pretty interesting fight. Archaon's doing that cheaty little thing that the AI likes to do, where he gets all of his regiments of renown into one army, and that may not be so great for us. On the bright side, though, Ostankya has all her hag daughters with her, and they can do pretty decent damage, especially if we pump them up with the Omen of Spirits and increase that spell mastery, allowing us to drop all the spells that we can on those enemies. Mirror Guard will get hit really, really hard by a bunch of things and are pretty much destroyed. So much for that. A Regiment of Renown. And as soon as our spells end, here come the spiders. And you may notice one big thing. The spiders are in, but the enemy is not covered by that fog of annoying visual effects. Okay, that's a different fog of visual effects, but not the slow death one that was annoying me so greatly. For those who didn't read the comments in the previous episode, the modder behind the Less Effects mod very kindly decided to remove that slow death effect from those spiders, which I am really appreciative of. I was honestly considering not even using the spiders anymore, because I mean it made the battlefield just impossible to see, and also fantastic battlefield. Speaking of, anyway, the way that we've deployed this is we've essentially cut the enemy army in half and obliterated their left flank completely, while Archaon and a bunch of his troops are still attempting to make their way towards us. This is working out pretty darn well, as the enemy simply got surrounded and obliterated here. A little bit difficult to see still due to the dark nature of this particular map, but that's alright. Oh, I love the effect of the Forbidden Fens just growing all over the place. Chaos Knights still in the fight, but they are surrounded by spiders and taking the occasional hit from our hags. And ooh, in the light of the Forbidden Fens and the sort of glow of this particular map, that Incarnate Elemental, it does look fantastic, doesn't it? Definitely some flashy effects on this one. And it looks like the Chaos Knights have been destroyed. The hags continue firing off their spells at the enemy, and we've now summoned both units of the Things in the Woods ghosts. Right now, the simple thing that they've got to do is block Archaon off for a little bit. We've got a few more units that we want to destroy, so we can use these ghostly Things in the Woods to distract Archie. Not for long, as damn, he's killing one with every blow, it seems, but that's alright. They're just summons, and, well, they'll just get unsummoned almost as quickly. Otherwise, let's see, we've got the Bilious Thunderguff who has arrived, and the Golden Knight will need to move towards Archaon himself in order to get that duel going. Definitely can't have the Hag Witches be fighting the Ever-Chosen. That's a bad idea, and one of them loses about half HP very, very rapidly. Alright, come on. Back off, hags. The Golden Knight is here, or at least trying to make her way through the Hounds of the Blood Hunt, and... Huh. Well, that's interesting. I don't remember you taking this much damage. In fact, I don't remember you taking anywhere near this much damage. This might be a desync. I haven't seen one of these in a while. The hags should have backed off, and the Golden Knight should have been dueling Archaon for a while now. I want to see where the next spells drop, because, yeah, this is something odd. I wonder what might have caused the desync here. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter too much, but still odd. Ostankya dueling the Bilious Thunderguff by herself, and the Incarnate Elemental Beast just standing there. Huh. It seemed like the battle was proceeding as it should have been at the very start of the battle. Ooh, that does look cool. See some dead spiders running around. The hags are still around there, though one of them attempted to escape. And ooh, wow, the Patriarch and the Golden Knight are very much in trouble against Archie. Huh. I might actually have to fight this battle again. That's kind of annoying. Well, we'll see how it ends up. The Bilious Thunderguff is still there. Is it just standing still too? But, Alright, now half of our spiders are standing there. I mean, this is still probably better than the non-cinematic alternative, and hey, there we go. And the Incarnate Elemental of Beasts towering over the Giant, at least a little bit. And together with the spiders should be able to knock it out. Ooh, the headbutt! That's pretty neat. Hey, don't double stagger the Incarnate, that's so rude. There we go, stagger him right back. There's certainly a clash of the Titans back here, but the Bilious Thunderguff is just about done. In fact, Archaon is shattered, as the Golden Knight has, by the looks of it, defeated him, though she has reached her healing cap and is now dueling Mr. Harry the Hammer. The rest of our army is still running around somewhere. The hag still got very badly damaged, but you know what? I'm reasonably happy. It's not quite the way the battle occurred due to whatever desync, but it's good. And there we go, the Incarnate Elemental Beast brings down the Bilious Thunderguff itself, and the Thing in the Woods is, well, has certainly earned its stripes. Alright, just a little bit more work. The Golden Knight versus Carry the Hammer while Archaon runs away. I think, I think we killed him when I actually played it, but it's all good. Just gonna send a few more troops to help out against Carry the Hammer. And drop a few spells on him as well. Then he's down to 600 HP. His spiders will mob him. Can't even see him in there, but it looks like he will get brought down by the Golden Knight, or possibly one of the Things in the Woods. And there we are. There we are. Man, some really cool silhouettes in this particular map, though, with the sort of dark and light that we've got going on between the lava and the actual lighting of the map. And yeah, see, Forbidden Fens was just used here, but there's no enemies here. The enemies have all shattered. In fact, it looks like they shattered a little bit earlier here than when I actually played it. Kind of interesting. I really wonder why there's a desync. Does Archaon now have an execution ability? What else could have possibly caused it? Go figure. All right, there we are. That certainly, undeniably, took a bit of effort to do, but still went pretty darn well. We were able to knock out Archie. The Golden Knight came in very handy here for keeping Archie and Harry the Hammer sort of locked in place, and the inherent sort of slowness of the enemy army meant that we could obliterate one of their flanks before they could really react to it, which also worked out quite well for us. We're going to take the money, as we will be needing a lot of it to deal with all this. There we go. Defeated Archie gives us spell resistance, physical resistance, melee attack when fighting various chaos factions, all of which is also quite nice for us. Now, I really didn't want to go too far. Oh, wow. Wait. Plains of Zunbai-Jin, are you telling me that Grimgor completely wiped out Tamarkan? Wow, that's pretty impressive. Really, anybody wiping out Tamarkan is impressive because he's kind of obnoxious lord. Yeah, good job. Wow. Good for them. And another Ataman's administrator for Tatiana now. Okay, the other Ataman needs it. You? No, we already have an Ataman. Okay, fine. We'll get it on one of our new Ataman administrators, our newer Ataman administrators. You? Oh, you already have Foreman maxed out, which is also great. And I'm gonna say... you should probably at least get 1 point in Garrison Leader so that they're always racking up some points. And, oh... we should probably also start moving through this. Maybe, well, we do want the additional research rate. It's not much, but is it worth more than the additional Frost Maiden capacity, which will give us the ability to build a Frost Maiden, which will give us the ability to steal tech? Well, maybe at least an Interrogator for the additional little bit of research rate. The Frost Maidens are fairly costly as well. There is that to consider. Also, we should build some stuff up here. We'll start with you, Temple of... Now we'll start with the iron in the Temple of Heimkel and upgrade you as best we can. And then we have to build the market here. Now, this is an issue, a pretty major issue. And in fact, Boris won't be able to get to it in one turn, meaning Frozen Landing is going to be in trouble. We could generate an army there. I'll have to think about this. Also, how many territories do you have? Wait, who? Oh, right, you're Archie's vassal. Now, actually, speaking of Archie, where do we have you, sir? I have 2 territories. Okay, so one's up here, and one's all the way up here. I mean, we could potentially try to link up with the Greenskins. They don't like us very much, unfortunately. They are strength rank 4. And considering they marched all this way, there's a decent likelihood that they attack us. But we can't just be constantly dealing with these chaos threats. That's another issue. It's just that I'm worried that we have committed way too many armies here. Which is another issue. Nothing but issues. Alright. Well, as much as it is admin heavy, we do have to deal with what happened here. How many of these troops do we actually want to keep? Well, we can't be losing 8.2k per turn, that's for damn sure. You can actually move... wait, if you go into March Stance, you can move past Prague and... well, you still won't be able to reach Frozen Landing, but you'll be able to reach it roughly the same time, so maybe we'll temporarily use you. Like so. Leave Kislev, go back this way. Construction cost reduction for buildings, well, that's not bad. Build this while you're here. And let's also see if there's any good heroes we have here. Coster Headman, terrible. What about you? Cunning, not bad. What about you? Glacial Blast, alright, that's a decent one. Quartermaster... huh? Wait, you can have Quartermaster and Infantry Commander together? I never had the option of getting both of these together. Maybe when the AI gets them, it just gets 3 random ones, but this might actually be the best Frost Maiden we have. Go figure, and it's a Frost Maiden of Ice. Alright, we'll probably put her in whichever army is the most expensive. Decent likelihood it'll beat Serena Katrin's army, because she'll use Ice Guard and Zargard. Serena Katrin, just want to see. You also have Glacial Blaster. But unfortunately you have... well, Court Agent is fine. You don't have the upkeep reduction one, instead you got this one. That's alright, fine, I guess. Might still keep you. I mean, she's level 15. It's, fair while. And oh, look at that. All those Kislevite warriors are leveled up nicely so that we can turn them into Kossars or whatever as needed. I don't think it should be needed against Azag, though I fear that he will take care of Kungor, as there's not anything we can do about that. You two armies. You're going to have to become one army. So you're a tactician, which is terrible, and you're a vanguard, which is terrible. But we can't keep all these units. Huh. Rather than... I was about to say rather than recruiting Akshina ambushes, we do have war sleds here as well. Can light war sleds become heavy war sleds with time? They can. Alright, and we were wanting to get war sleds out there as well. I don't imagine we need more than Serena Katrin to move up here. Though I do want to transfer these frost worms. The supply lines are killing us. We have to just take one of these armies out immediately or the supply lines will destroy us.
Lord of all.
Alright, get rid of these Kosovo dervishes. How far can you move? Okay, you know what? You're gonna sit in Fort Jakova to reduce the upkeep, and then you're gonna go there. And we can keep the armored Kossars with great weapons. We will transfer them to another army. And, okay, wait, no. Maybe transfer everybody we keep... Oh, you know what? Keep the heroes out. We'll take them out, and some of them we'll keep and some of them we probably won't. Keep this, because that's going to Serena Katrin's army. Keep the war sleds. Keep the Akshina ambushers and the armored Kossar, and then that's it, I guess. And we can keep the Kosovo dervishes because they're leveled up decently. Alright, then... Did I do that backwards? I mean, I guess we could swap them around. Well, you're level 13. You're still useful, even if I hate Tactician. What do we have here? Aggressive. Terrible. Vanguard. Strategist. I really don't like any of these guys. I think we can just go ahead and delete them all, assuming that... Okay, yeah. No Ottoman's Administrator for you. No Kislevite Khazar for you. And nothing for you, sir. Can we disband the entire thing? No, we have to do it one by one. Alright, fair enough. We'll get better ones, especially since we can raise them at rank 7 now, and there's no need to have ones with traits that we don't like. Alright, and then... Wait, does Serena Katrin have any patriarch? I could have at least temporarily gotten her a patriarch. Can we summon them here? We can. Then we have the capacity for them. But these are all kind of bad as well. Okay. Game. I wonder if this guy has decent ones. Kossar Headman, and alright, the cunning one is fine. That's one we'll actually keep. Alright, you lose the items. You're not actually going to command an army, most likely. And we'll swap these units like so. Then you... Wait, did I do that backwards? I did do that backwards, damn it. My bad. My bad. Like that. You will now leave the settlement, you will enter the settlement, you will lose any items you have, and then we will delete you because the terrible... There we go. Minus 4.7k per turn. Not as bad. We'll still need to swap these two armies together and then transfer whatever other troops we have, but we can take the turn of losing all that stuff. We do also have boons available. Is there anything that will be nice and useful to us in the immediate time? Noble administrators, don't really care for it. Land provides resource buildings, no cost. Alright, I wanted to get unity and toil, so we won't have that. I need rank 2. I think we have to wait for rank 3. Battleborn, all units rank 7 or higher. We don't have enough rank 7s to make good use of that. I really do like that defensive supplies plus 6,000 though. That's pretty awesome. Diplomatic relations with Empire and allegiance points gains with alliances with Empire and Dwarfs. So that's also really nice, just that we don't have enough alliances to get too much advantage of it right now. I score training cost reduction, effect for Kislevite battle prayers, duration. That includes healing and range. Oh, that's actually insanely strong. I think, well, we'll have to do battle sermons after we get chaos, but no, after we get unity and toil. At least with therein we have the plan. Next, Witch's Hut. Oh, that was this turn? This is going to be a heck of a long turn. We have one Ottoman available. I'm inclined to say we put the Ottomans currently in territories that are generating the most cash for us, and as odd as that seems, it's going to be the Skull Road. We have devotion and growth, and tons of devotion. Man, it's only 10 growth. I'm going to say actually do the devotion here to get this one up and running fast. Do that. Oh, and of course now we get the unwavering one with the money. But oh well. Alright, and... Oh, we can't select this guy yet. Hopefully I remember. that he's still there, in the sense that we still need to do his itemization. Ostankya, you can hit the monolith of Bubonicus. You're not afraid of the attrition anymore. You don't need to channel, so you can just travel up as far as you can here. And frankly, if an army, the full stack attacks you, I'm reasonably sure that you can survive it. In fact, it might even be beneficial to go here and maybe even raise the Writhing Fortress and the Bleeding Spire. I'll think about it. I've been saying that a lot this particular turn. And then you guys are going to attack this in a second. Just got to figure out whatever else we have left. Alright, building. This is also significant. We'll wait for the Ataman to arrive here, so we won't do too much. Let us do the market square. Let's actually delete you. And we will upgrade... It would be nice to upgrade the city. 4.4k, though. I think we'll wait. Prague can wait. The Karakungor and Karagraziak stay defensive for now, because there's a decent likelihood that we'll get attacked by Droika. Helpit has completed the Ice Court support building, but we're looking mostly to get the Frost Maidens. We actually really need to start getting Orthodoxy buildings everywhere, or else this is going to be... that's going to be too far of a big difference. Let's get markets. We need many markets. You will switch first to Devotion, I guess, because that's what we're doing everywhere right now. And then market here, market there. You have the Light War Sleds building, which is fine because it gives us additional income. This building, I think, is a waste, especially since we need to build the Iron building, and then this building we can keep and then level up. There's another Eerie Woods here, as well as a Casern, eh? I say delete this, keep the hut because they're expensive, and I may or may not delete it later. And then this stuff. I guess for now, this will likely change later. For now, we'll do the double Patriarch capacity increase and the Orthodoxy support gain, and that gives us. Maybe even the hut is not super useful, because spending 5,000 gold on it right now is somewhat unlikely. You know, delete this, we'll replace it with the market and another Orthodoxy thing. And then we'll have to retool that as our provinces grow. Alright, that was a lot of admin, and I hope I didn't forget anything, because I'm not going to do any more right now. Nordland wants friendliness and alliances and stuff.
What?
Yeah, we could do that, I guess. Sure.
Come then. Only Sigma's god
give us all your money. Oh, okay, fine. Give us just enough money that you can afford. Like that, I think. We're not going to do the defensive alliance because they're going to die. I'm just doing this so that we eventually become friendlier with their other friends, like other Imperial factions.
So...
Great Orthodoxy, surprisingly, still not willing to do the defensive alliance, but we can probably confed you fairly easily as well. Anyway, other than that, I believe we are good to fight. Finally. Every time that you confederate, obviously, you get a crazy amount of admin, so that shouldn't be surprising. Alright, go. Like so. And decisive victory, we cannot risk auto-resolving. I mean, oh, I should have evolved these spider hatchlings. Plus, these guys are in march stance, so the auto-resolve might be lying in our favor. We're heavily damaged, have essentially no melee line. Fight.
We are the avalanche! We are the storm! We are the rage of Kislev!
Alright, Avalanche, Storm, Rage of Kislev. Check marks on everything. Gotcha. Anyway, here we go. Should be a fun little fight against the Norskins here, though we certainly can't get complacent. Gotta remember that pretty much all of our Kislevite warriors are fairly heavily damaged, and, well, if the enemy makes it through them to the Streltsy behind them, it's going to be a much bigger problem for us. We do have a couple of the Kshina ambushers, our first two. Still haven't made an army of them, but you know, I'm not in a huge hurry because we already know they're obnoxiously strong troops, and I'd rather not rely on them in the early game. We will build some. I mean, I guess technically we already have some, and we'll be transferring them. But anyway, for now, let's set up our army. And let's see, we got these guys at about 50 to 75% HP. Let's see if they can hold against the Norscan onslaught. We'll start the battle out by trying to annoy the enemy lord here, who's only a level 2, by plinking away at him with Ulrika and our Druzhina lord as well. Unfortunately, range lords are garbage, and they do no damage, especially in vanilla. But at least they can hopefully annoy the enemy lord sufficiently to move towards us. I mean, look at them. Ulrika's used, what? 60, well, not 60, 30% of her ammunition, and the Druzhina's used maybe 10 to 15%, and the enemy lord's what, taking 10% of the damage? I don't know if this is a matter of accuracy or what, but yeah, they're doing nothing. Nothing whatsoever. But that's alright. They've served their purpose by annoying the enemy lord and moving him towards us, and we'll allow the Streltsy and all the rest of our units to do the work instead. Got another little bit of a hill over on this side, so hopefully we can take advantage of that as the Streltsy start to fire away. There we go. You gotta love a nice gun line. And since the enemy doesn't have any casters, no burning head to be afraid of, we don't have to sort of separate our troops, and they can just fire in a nice line like this. Not the most efficient, perhaps, setup, but it is a cool looking one. Alright, and here come the enemy. They are going to charge towards our Kislevite warriors, which are taking damage. This one's already shed about 50% of the HP that they've started with. The javelins coming in from all the enemy Marauder Hunters are going to be pretty darn devastating. Marauder Hunters with javelins not to be underestimated as a very strong unit in the early to mid game. SFO also has the elite variant of Whalers, though we don't have that in vanilla as I recall. But anyway, the Kislevite warriors are holding, just barely so perhaps, but holding, and our Streltsy and Akshina alike are dishing out massive damage to the enemy. The bounce power has dropped to about, well, maybe 80-85% in our favor, and the first of the enemy Marauder Berserkers are beginning to break. Granted, a lot of our Kislevite warriors will probably be decimated after this. We can see a lot of them are down to about 20% HP, and we have now started backing the most hurt ones off so that they're not completely destroyed. I wouldn't want to waste the veterancy, because veterancy means we can actually upgrade them, and they survived long enough to earn some proper equipment, some armor maybe, something a little better than a pitchfork. Anyway, backing all of our Kislevite warriors now, some of them with about 10% HP. The heroes have managed to defeat the enemy Marauder Chieftain. And it looks like just a little bit more work. The cave bats have come in. Oh, right, I gotta remember to make an army with at least some cave bats. Maybe nothing too crazy, because they're still... I don't like bat units. Yeah. Well, we gotta apply them somewhere. Gonna have to figure out which army. I want the Akshina to be with spiders, because they can Vanguard deploy with them together, and that kind of makes more sense to me, so where we put the bats will remain to be figured out later. For now, though, the enemy Norscan army is destroyed, and though the Kislevite warriors were nearly broken, they managed to hold the line, and the Streltsy obliterated the enemy army. Lovely. Alright, there we go, a nice little fight. The poor little Kislevite warriors were kind of decimated there, but they're all ranked up enough to become armored Khazars if they should desire to do so. Healing is useless here because it will only apply to you, so we're going to take the 1,000 gold and complete the destruction of that particular army. Lovely. And a free Sword of Bloodshed, we'll certainly take that. Now, I take it there's nowhere you can be here where you are. Yeah, this all counts as chaos attrition, so no dice there, eh? Fair enough. Now, I don't remember. What can you guys become? Okay, so 4 of you will want to become Armored Khazars, but we'll do that later. You guys will want to become Winged Lancers eventually, but from a different... or into a different army than this one. Frankly, one of you should probably be transferred to Boris so that he can get 4 Warbear Riders. I don't want to go too crazy on them because they'll have the feral ice bears with them as well. So yeah, we'll ignore those for now. And I believe, unless I'm mistaken, that's the end of this turn. We probably do have some points that we can apply.
Demon Slayer.
But is there anything super critical right now? This is not critical. You have Renown and Feared now. Maybe we can start buffing up your melee troops. Well, we should probably get your Heroic Resilience as well. Likelihood of you going below 50% HP is not super high anymore, but it'll occasionally happen, I'm sure. Alright, enjoy that, Boris. And everybody else, I'm sure, here is fine. What's Ostankya at? She's level 37. She's leveled up again, but she has the important part of her main tree. Let's get her Arcane Conduit, however. And we might still be able to move through the upkeep production, assuming we don't want anything else here, and I'm pretty sure that we don't, because we have a pretty good idea of what's going to be in her army. Now, what does she cast the most? She uses Vengeance of the Spirits pretty constantly. The Blessing of the Ancient Witch we don't care for as much. Curse of the Ancient Witch, different story, though. In fact, let's just do a quick count. So, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41... And then 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So we could go for Renowned and Feared as long as we skip out on one of these. It'll have to be one we don't use a lot. Frankly, the Blessed Cauldron... the bigger spells are less likely. You know what? I think we'll just ignore this for now and start putting points into the... well, you know what? Let's get Curse of the Ancient Witch maxed out, because I do like the... well, the Curse rather than the Blessing. The Blessing isn't super useful to us, but we gotta keep in mind that that's a very nice blessing for ranged units. And in fact, it probably means we'll want to Lure of the Hag in various range armies, really. Duration 24 seconds. Is this better than the Gust of True Flight? We'll have to... ooh, we can combine that. We can combine it with Gust of True Flight as well. Massive range power. Yeah, but we'll start going through Quartermaster. And you. Golden Knight. Is there anything here? We got the most important stuff that will buff up Ostankya. Cool down to all spells accompanying Lord. Let's get Consecrated. All the stuff that'll make her a stronger fighter we can hold, at least for now. Same with the Ice Guard and Zarguard stuff. Although I do like that missile resistance. You know what? I changed my mind. We'll do Unyielding Kinship. Spell resistance and missile resistance for the entire army. And even though we do still have Serena Catron, we'll keep the Golden Knight in this army at least for a little while. Not forever, but I think there is argument to be made for her being useful here. Otherwise, I believe we're good to go to end the turn, so we'll skip commandment available in Kislev. Oh, right, I didn't do anything about Kislev. Get rid of the Watch Patrol. Well, actually, no, if Draca attacks us, then that might be bad. Huh, another Hag Hut. I gotta appreciate how much the AI was building the Hag Huts. We'll destroy the Royal Barracks, or delete the Royal Barracks. We should start building these as well. Orthodoxy's point gain +1, thanks. Upkeep reduction for Elemental Bears and Warbear Riders, lots of furs for trading. I think we won't delete anything else, I'm just a little bit concerned about Draca attacking. Alright, now we can... okay, now we can't end the turn because I didn't do the frickin' thing. Devotion. There we go, now we can end the turn at last. Long last. What is this? Oh. But why? Alright, goodbye. Wait, oh, was that his last territory? Maybe it is his last territory. Because if it is, he's screwed. Or he's gone. Guess we'll find out in a second. I guess no more acquiring Harbal's defeat trade on anybody. But at least we got it on Ostankya and Boris. Not that it's one that's hyper-critical. Azag will attack the settlement garrison here. Can we beat him? I don't know. But we may as well try. Well, you know what? This is, I guess, a reason to use some of these. Let's see. Flaming attacks, Bears, Bulwark, Mass, and Charge bonus. Who here could possibly charge? I mean, we could put it on the Cossified Dervishes, but they're so weak. Maybe the Mass would be better on a Line Holder unit. Maybe we could use these guys to charge. What's their charge bonus at? Ugh. Pretty low. Not... I'm going to say that it's a waste to put this on anybody, I think. Let's try it with these. Might be a last stand sort of battle. I fear that we won't be able to bring Azag down, but who knows? Might as well give it a try. Kind of regretting not getting that plus 6,000 defensive supplies, but oh well, too late. A range reduction on the enemy. They have 1 unit of air, boys, so I guess that's what we'll do. Oh, this is the thing that does damage to the single unit. It's not much, but we could put that on Azag. And then this is Agony Succession. Physical resistance, and then this is the one that spreads and does damage. Yeah, we'll have to get this one up and running again. Put it on one of the big uns. All right, let's fight this.
Our duty served.
Alrighty, here we go. We're obviously not going to win this, and I admit I'm a little bit salty about the fact that Serena Katrin somehow was magically taken out of the settlement. She should have started here, and she should have been the one to do this and kill off Azag. But oh well, I'm sure we'll be hunting him down. And besides, while we could have auto-resolved this, I do like the occasional last stand battle. Sometimes it's fun to watch your troops fight to the last. Anyway, the enemy is going to drop a Spirit Leech on some of our Kossars, and I'm sure that Mr. Azag, or the Nagashi voices in his head, have thrown a Gaze of Nagash our way as well. First of the enemies have arrived. A Squig Herd will charge directly towards our armored Kossars. And of course the armored Kossars will be able to stop them, but you also got to remember that, especially in vanilla, armored Kossars are a very fragile unit despite their stats. Like, certainly they have armor, but they're much more fragile than you would think. And as we can see, even the Squig Herd, having taken only a little bit of damage, is kind of obliterating them, and that's before the rest of the enemy units have joined in. Boar Boys are coming in, and Trolls have arrived, and this poor unit of Kossars is going to get absolutely overrun. There are non-armored Kossars behind them, and of course more arrows come in the way of the enemy Trolls and Boar Boys, but yeah, these guys are getting crushed. Gonna try to wipe out at least one of these units to see if we can lower the enemy numbers, but it's not a huge deal. Alright, and if the enemy blob manages to break through this one, I think that our units are going to be breaking rather shortly. By Our Blood is of course working for us and allowing us to stay in the fight that little extra bit longer. But unfortunately it does look like that unit of Trolls did manage to escape with 8 units alive, though only about 10% of their HP. They'll recover to 50% because of the non-model losses. Oh well, maybe it was a mistake of mine to target the Trolls, but, well, I figured we gotta wipe something out, and the Trolls are probably the second most threatening unit other than Azag. Alrighty, bounce power has shifted to about 90% in the enemy's favor. This tiny little garrison still desperately attempting to hold. Azag, of course, has landed on his Wyvern. And by the looks of it, the battle is nearly lost. There are still a few Kossars attempting to fire away on some of the enemy orc Boar Boy chariots and just generally Boar Boy biggins. I don't really care for the Boar Boy chariots. I do wish that the pump wagons hadn't made Boar Boy chariots just hilariously obsolete. Particularly the spiky rollers, because they're just such an insanely OP unit for their cost, and Boar Boy chariots comparatively not so much. But anyway, let's see. Most of our units on the right flank have pretty much broken, and looks like a unit of Boar Boys and Squig Herds are still in the fight, attempting to break through our last lines of Kossars. Unfortunately, though, the unit behind them is having a difficult time actually firing off a shot, and here come the pump wagons as well. I was just talking about you. I do like the sort of small-scale nature of this little last stand fight, as it looks more like a skirmish. Oh, wow. Oh, the units sent flying by those pump wagons. But yeah, the sort of skirmishly nature of it does allow us to see the action a little bit more. sort of the gritty aspect of the action as opposed to the sort of bigger blob of units fighting bigger blob of units. Anyway, there we go. Nice little last stand. Probably won't be doing too many of these over the course of the campaign, but on occasion. Alright, there we go. Nice little last stand for these guys. I like fighting these battles on occasion, rather than auto-resolving them, just to enjoy them a little bit. Now, will you sack it or capture it? You'll capture it, which means Serena Katrin's about to kill you and take it back, which is great, because it'll give us a chance to get her on field, I guess right now. Enemy killed in battle, faction destroyed, challengers of Khorne. That was indeed their last fight. Settlement looted, but not for long. Serena Katrin, you're gonna move on, and I can't believe Azag actually decided to capture it. And he, well, loss of the gold mine's a bit annoying. What can you do? Ready for duty. Ataman ready for duty? Huh, that's interesting. Wait. Are you telling me... What do you mean Ataman ready for duty? There was a level 12 Ataman who is now gone? How did that work? Maybe he'll come back, because these guys are all at level 0. I would have loved to have a level 12 Ataman available to us for... Oh, wait, was it... No, it can't be this guy, right? No, he's at level 1. He's the new guy. Oh, actually, speaking of new guy, I'm glad I clicked you, because we could go tax collector, and I think there was something else. Not pit fighter, not knight sword, not kossar, not bailiff. Ataman administrator. There we go, because I was waiting to build some stuff here, like... The city, though the reduction isn't all that much, but we should probably still upgrade it to tier 4 and keep building those markets to only one turn. Go for the farmstead here as well. This should be a decent, very decent money-making, generating, etc. province. How are these guys doing? Still at war with the Drippin' Fangs and haven't claimed a new territory. I'm actually shocked that the AI isn't like programmed to prioritize retaking their capital there, because it feels like it's important. Anyway, we do now have 3 ice court boon things available, and I immediately forgot what I wanted. Well, I remember the 2 things that we wanted from the devotion +1, eh? Experience gain when an owned territory. I remember the... Oh, right, this is what... if we had this, we probably could have done that fight. Maybe I should have done it. Was there a reason why I was saving 3 points? Maybe there wasn't. Huh. I don't really care about the Ice Guard right now. Into the fray for hybrid Kislevite infantry and cavalry. That's all fine, but it wouldn't be as important. I do like that... maybe we'll go through noble administrators in order to... You know what? I still think it's probably a useful thing to get the frozen readout as well. All regions defensive supplies plus 6,000. We'll do that. The orthodoxy boon is the much more important one anyway. Anyway, you are gonna go here and hit Karakungor. The orcs have no chance here, regardless of what they say. And... do we need to, well, I was gonna trade some units, so we could use it to leech XP while trading them, so let's move you here. You were gonna go there anyway, and I'm still very concerned what the heck Draika's doing. Alright, and obviously Serena Katrin wants her Frostworms and her Snow Leopard. Those are gonna be the beasts of her army. I forget, can these guys become Ice Guard or no? I guess we'll find out later. You can keep the light war sleds and the Kossovite dervishes. We actually want the... actually, no, wait. 4 Kossovite dervishes in Serena Katrin's army to become Griffin Legion. Because... we want some Griffin Legion together with the Golden Knight. Yes, and then the rest will be Ice Guard and Zargard. Although, yeah, something like that. Is that too many Griffin Legion? Maybe. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Not sure I care. The rest of this is fine, I think. You already have one of these, don't you? Alright, you know what? Just... well, I'll figure it out between the episodes. It's kind of annoying now. Kossars, let's take out 3 of the melee Kossars, because we have armored Kossars. Let's do that. Alright. And we'll do this. Wow, really? Still close victory? We don't even need the second army for this. Why are you lying, game? Go.
Cowardice, hesitation, or failure! Fight until your last breath!
Alrighty, here we go. Serena Katrin on the field at last. She will be happy to be on the bear so far, at least until she gets her frost worm and then attempts to hold down her lunch, because hilarity involved with using one of these things as a mount. And then of course her sled. I don't remember how good it is in vanilla, but I was so incredibly impressed with Serena Katrin's sled in SFO when I did her campaign. It was so fun barreling through entire enemy armies. Nothing could stop her there. And I gotta remember to give her a banner of swiftness, most likely, if we can find one once she's on the sled. Anyway, I decided to wait for the second army. There isn't, admittedly, really any need to do so here, because I imagine we'd be able to destroy the enemy army with just the one without too much trouble. But the thing is, there's a bunch of units here that we haven't had a chance to try yet. The Frostworms, I think we saw Ice Guard one time, but yes, the Frostworms, though they are inferior and frankly completely different in role in vanilla as they are in SFO, because in vanilla they're an anti-large unit, and in SFO they're an anti-infantry mortis engine, which is, yeah, very different. And I believe they do have the chilling aura there, which they don't here, which is kind of unfortunate. And I still find it bizarre that the feral ice bears have a chilling aura, where the frickin' giant ice lizard does not, but anyway, I digress. Yeah, in addition to them, we have the snow leopards, which I'm sure will have maybe 2, maybe 4 in Serena Katrin's army. She does buff them after all, giving them stock and possibly unspottable. And then lastly, the sleds. Oh, I've always loved the sleds. And of course, we are going to put some of the sleds into the Streltsy army, because they're full of Streltsy, and they should do good work there. Anyway, the enemy is charging towards our sleds. These are the light variants, so the enemy is having a little bit of a difficult time catching up. And what the heck is this? Whatever that is, I am quite concerned by it. Maybe we shouldn't be fighting near that thing. Skaven are going to explode everything here, and it's not going to be good. Yeah, but anyway. Fun. I got completely distracted. Anyway, the sleds are backing off and sort of harassing the enemy as they move towards them. Snow leopards are here. There we go, and Serena Katrin arrives herself, taking the charge of the enemy boar boys before the arrival of first the winged lancers, and then second the frostworm. You got a little bit of a nice skirmish going on the right flank here, but I wanted to check out those snow leopards and the frostworm and see how well it did against the larger units. So this is a pretty good opportunity, and same of course for these sleds. Since we've been waiting to build our own, technically we can upgrade our Streltsy to them, but, well, the Streltsy army doesn't have enough of them to be wasting them on upgrades right now. Also, let's face it, these sleds are quite expensive, and our economy is, well, it's in a little bit of trouble right now. Anyway, it looks like we have pretty much one on the right flank. A little bit of damage to Serena Katrin, but otherwise we're okay. The Streltsy are providing support, though it does look like the enemy is moving in with some pump wagons and trolls. Azag has landed in the middle of our army, and we're going to send a Frostworm to hold him off, apply them a little bit of that anti-large, and help our Lord to hold Azag back. Should be pretty nice, and of course the enemy melee troops are moving in as well in decent numbers. Moving right past the hailstorm, unfortunately for us, but yeah, well, since we moved both of the armies and we do have a lot. Unfortunately, though, you can see that most of our range units aren't firing. Only a couple of them are firing. Why these couple? Because they've been directly told to fire. The others are not firing because apparently this is another one of those battles where we get that bug where your units refuse to fire at will, which is quite annoying, but I guess it's making the battle a little bit more difficult. Which was needed here. Yeah, at some point I do realize this and start telling every single individual unit to fire on specific enemy units, but, you know. Anyway, Azag, I believe, is pretty much done for, shaken, winded, down to about 15% of his HP. We are also moving out the Kosovoite dervishes just to run down some of the enemy range units, and by the looks of it, we have by and large one on the right flank here. Serena Katrin drops a glacial blast or whatever spell on some squigs here, though admittedly the squigs did do a little bit of damage to her, so good for them. Azag now backing off. And by the looks of the battle will be ours, a nice magic missile. I never bothered with the magic missile on the ice witches, but for this one particular purpose, it was pretty amusing. The AI got the magic missile variant. It is Ice Shard. Oh, you only get one use of it? Huh. 550 damage. Really doesn't feel like it's enough damage to warrant only having one use. But anyway, we were able to use it to knock Azag out of the sky, and it was pretty entertaining to watch him fall as well, so I'm reasonably happy. Anyway, last of the orcs, Biggins and Boar Boys are still in the fight, though I'd wager not for too much longer. Range units now being told who to fire upon, and I think as the enemy runs out of units or as more units make their way off the field, the range units will begin to fire at will again. I have a feeling that it has something to do with the number of units, because it only seems to happen in fights when there are a ton of units on the field. Last time it happened in the Count Noctilus campaign was such a dangerous time too. We had brought 2 armies to fight 3 enemy armies, but one of our armies stopped firing, so essentially it turned into a 1 versus 3. And those were 2 newly minted, relatively untested armies as well, and they were facing off against Lethanar and Yuan Bo together at the same time, so yeah. Anyway, with that, it looks like the enemy army will break, had a little fun, tried out our units, took a little bit of damage, but all good. Certainly worth it to screw around a little bit, and I really enjoyed sort of microing those sleds, perhaps a little bit more than necessary, and if I hadn't been busy with those, I might have noticed that the range units decided to all not fire at will a little bit earlier. Anyway, we'll see plenty more of the sleds. You get pets, random bear. Alright, there we go. Nice little fight. Took a little bit of damage. I wouldn't really call it a close victory other than allowing Tsarina Katrin to get a little bit damaged. Now, we did encounter that bug which made half of our units just not fire. I believe somebody said that the fire at will bug was supposedly fixed, but I don't think it was, because I specifically tried watching the Ice Guard for a while, and they just sat there, fire at will or auto fire on, refusing to fire whatsoever. Not a big deal, because it was ultimately a smaller fight with this, and we probably would have won it with even just Tsarina Katrin's army alone, but just a curiosity. Anyway, Power Stone for us, which we can hopefully combine into something. We gotta retake the place, and we retake it, I believe, at tier 2. That we're supposed to take it to tier 2, or was that only in the Chaos Waste? Gotta double check what Borz's ability actually is. Enemy killed in battle, spell resistance for defeating Azag is nice for Tsarina Katrin, and frankly, that would have been a nice defeat trait on Mother Ostankya as well. Oh! I hope that this works on heroes and not just lords. A new trinket! Lovely. Oh, we hadn't defeated the greenskins before. I believe we also get the trinkets for actually allying with factions, though. I mean, we don't have any allies, so we don't have any trinkets that way. So we could acquire one immediately by allying with Northern Dorosland, but once again, I prefer to ally with the ones that aren't going to be dead rather shortly. Anyway, just real quick, are you able to reach Monolith of Bubonicus? You are. Okay, so what I want to just do real quick is this. You are going to reinforce. We'll have Boris grab Stormvrak Mount, and yes, we're completely out of time. I just want to make sure we do the... I forgot about you, but whatever. Do this, reinforce. I assume Ostankya will not lose anything. Yeah, ow, actually, that hurt her spiders. Then we will occupy the place. Then we will take out the Chaos Corruption here via the Purification Chant. Like so. Recruit +2 for cavalry units, that might come in handy. Another tax collector, great bear pelt, which is kind of meh. Kshina Informant gives us ice court support, but the reason I wanted to do that right now was because this gave us 3, which means we can activate the Unity and Toil. Every owned settlement provides +1% income and +5% growth to all adjacent settlements. We're at 4529 now. Wait, what was it before we did that? I don't know. Well, damn it. Oh well, not a big deal. Everything to help fix our econ after all that. Anyway, folks, with that, we are very much, and I mean very much out of time. Next time, we'll recruit the... Okay, you know what? Just so I don't forget to do it right now. Boris needs his bears. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Boris. And 1, 2, 3 non-ice variants for the other army. And I'm sure there's other stuff we want to build. Anyway, I will figure out what we want to do with the armies that we currently have, because, yeah, I didn't want to take more time to properly admin that, so we'll deal with that next time and probably delete a couple of the garbage armies that we got in order to make sure. Yeah, you're gonna have to go over here regardless. Fine. In order to make sure that we can fix our economy and whatever else I was saying. Anyway, more Ostankya yet to come as we move further to the Chaos Waste, but probably will soon turn Ostankya around to go elsewhere as well. We are able to move down the Uskalak Canal if we wanted to as well, so we could suddenly appear down there if we wanted to. Certainly an option. I want to send some forces down here, but it would be funny to just sort of appear here and take the Dragon Isles for ourselves and stuff. I'll think about it, well, especially once we fix our econ. Anyway, more fun stuff to come with this campaign for sure, certain whatever, so stay tuned, don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.